You might think robots are a modern invention, born from code, silicon, and laboratories. But thousands of years ago, before electricity, before computers, before the word technology even existed, humans were already dreaming of machines that could move, decide, and obey. This is not the story of modern AI. This is the story of an ancient obsession. And it begins much earlier than you think. Long before machines existed, humans created something more dangerous than metal. Rules. In Mesopotamia, around 1754 BC, King Hammurabi carved 282 laws into a stone pillar. Step-by-step instructions for an entire civilization. Who pays? Who is punished? Who is forgiven? No judgment required. No human discretion. Just input and output. This was the first algorithmic society, not powered by electricity, but by obedience. A system that executes without asking why. Sound familiar? Today we call it automated decision-making. We call it algorithmic governance. We argue about whether machines should decide who gets a loan, who gets flagged, who gets a second chance. Hammurabi already decided. He just used stone instead of code. Then something changed. Rules became bodies. In ancient Greece, myth spoke of living machines. Talos, a giant of bronze, built by Hephaestus, god of the forge, and given to the island of Crete. His purpose was simple. Circle the island 3 times a day. Destroy anything that threatened it. But Greek engineers didn't just imagine machines. They built them. Hidden inside temples and theaters, Hero of Alexandria constructed devices powered by air, water, and steam that opened doors automatically, moved statues, and performed rituals without human hands. The illusion of life, the birth of automation. And Hephaestus didn't stop at Talos. In Homer's Iliad, he builds golden servants, women made of metal, capable of speech, capable of thought. 3,000 years ago, the Greeks were already asking, what if we could build a mind? Then they answered. Around 60 BC, a Roman cargo ship sank near the island of Antikythera. It sat there for 2,000 years. In 1901, sponge divers off the Greek coast pulled up something nobody asked for. Corroded bronze, gears fused together by 2,000 years of salt water. It sat in a museum in Athens, more or less ignored, for decades. When researchers finally examined it properly, they found 37 interlocking bronze gears, a machine calculating the position of the sun and moon, predicting eclipses, tracking astronomical cycles spanning centuries. Built around 100 BC, the thing works on the same basic logic as a clock, except it was built 1,000 years before clocks existed. The knowledge to build it vanished without trace. Whoever made it took everything with them. The same idea didn't resurface in Europe for another 1,400 years. The knowledge vanished, but the obsession didn't. 8 centuries later, an engineer named Al-Jazari wrote a book, The Book of Knowledge of Ingenious Mechanical Devices. Inside, 50 machines, clocks driven by water, automated servants that poured drinks, a programmable musical band, 4 mechanical musicians on a floating boat, playing different rhythms depending on how the internal system was configured. This was not myth. This was engineering. Al-Jazari built machines that responded to inputs and produced controlled outputs. He didn't call it programming, but that's what it was. 3 centuries later, the question had moved west. In 1495, Leonardo da Vinci designed a knight. A fully articulated mechanical figure capable of sitting, standing, raising its arms, opening its jaw. Powered by a system of cables and pulleys, operated from the outside. Da Vinci never built it, or if he did, it didn't survive. But the drawings did. And when engineers reconstructed it in the 1990s, following his exact specifications, it worked. He wasn't building a toy. The question was whether a machine could replicate the human body. 500 years before robotics had a name, he had an answer. That was 1495. The obsession never died. It just found better tools. Nowadays, engineers in AI labs started calling their creation the Shoggoth, a thing too complex to understand, a creation that outgrew its creator. The question is the same as it was 4,000 years ago. Can we remove judgment from the human soul and give it to a machine? And if we do, who is really in control?